Hi, everyone. Welcome to Rewinding Founders, where we talk to founders and entrepreneurs about the very early days so everyone sees what it's actually like to start something new. Today, we're talking to Alper, co founder and CEO of Tripnly. Alper, how are you
Yes.
doing? Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah. Excellent. Perfect. Thank you so much for the introduction. And I'm super happy to be here and thank you for having me. And I hope you're also fine and everything is going well on your side.
Perfect. Okay, so before we even get into what you're doing now, I'd love to hear how did you get started in entrepreneurship?
Thank you for the first question. I think it's the hardest one. But to be honest, my entrepreneurship journey is kind of like, entrepreneurship has always been in my blood. From a young age, I dreamed of creating my own path or my own company, and I was really passionate about solving the real world problems through innovative solutions and through technology. So I've always been passionate about identifying the challenges and at the same time developing effective solutions. So that's my mindset, that's my mantra. So because of that, my entrepreneurship spirit also, let me say, because of my sport background, because I was a former swimmer, I swam around like 10 years. Because of being a former athlete, I have always been approached life with determination and discipline. So this also setting my ambitious goals and working tirelessly to achieve them. And I think that this mindset has greatly affected my entrepreneurship journey and my entrepreneurship spirit as well. And at the end of the day, I believe that both sports and entrepreneurship share a similar philosophy of striving to be the best version of yourself. So when we think about how did I get started in entrepreneurship journey, as I mentioned to you, from a young age, from since my childhood, and it's also inside of my character, and because of my sports background, it also shaped my entrepreneurship journey and giving me a resilience and persistence to overcome challenges and pursue my dreams. Yeah.
Amazing. Is the company that you're working on right now the first company you founded?
Actually, yeah, I prefer to call it like that because previously I was kind of experienced different kind of, let's say, side hustles. They were also very, let's say, support where I am here right now. They support that my entrepreneurship journey so much, but I prefer to call them like a side hustle because I earn lots of different experience from them, but Tripini is the real one, the actual one, and the first one.
Interesting. And how did you get to Tripoli idea?
Yeah, I always had a passion for travel. I believe that it's a very rewarding and rich activity for everyone. It must be like it should be like that. It's let's say, and I believe that it opens cultures, new people, new experiences, and you can explore very interesting things toward traveling. So, but at the same time, when you think about the digital age which we are experiencing right now and constantly evolving, I think technology is not that we are not using technology that much efficient in our industry. Because I noticed that there is a huge and significant gap between travel planning, expectations, and realities due to the lots of different scattered informations and numerous resources. We have lots of websites and applications. So instead of feeling overwhelmed by during these processes, the travel planning and experiencing, I believe that traveling and all these experiences should be more joyful and needs to be hustle free as much as possible. Because I believe that, as I mentioned to you, it's a very joyful and rewarding activity. So that's why we found Tripini with an all-in-one business model. So what is behind all-in-one business model is imagine planning your trip, making your reservations, making your bookings, creating your own content, even monetizing and calculating your carbon footprint in a one single platform. So maybe it sounds a little bit complex, but at the same time, this all-in-one solution, all-in-one business model definitely empower travelers to achieve these goals and making their experience more joyful. So in order to, and at the same time, I believe that as a co-founder and CEO of Tripnly and as a personal site, making every single trip carbon neutral is a very bold statement, and we definitely need to encourage people, especially travelers, to have at least the same idea or have the same perspective towards this, because sustainable tourism is really important, and it will become more crucial and crucial when we think about the global crisis and climate change as well. So that's why this is our starting point. These are our reference point. And at the same time, also during the pandemic, when travel stopped and the tourism industry was severely affected, we saw a very huge innovation gap in the market because everything is stopped. And when everything is stopped, also innovation stopped. So, and because of this innovation gap, which I believe still exists, and there is so much room to improve and disrupt, we want to take some action with Tripnly, and we believe that we can make a meaningful impact, and we can at least help to change of this traditional industry with Tripnly by taking the right steps forward.
Amazing. When you started the company, how did you meet your co-founder? Were you wanting to start a company together and then you found the idea, or did you have an idea and then you found him?
Yeah, actually, it was kind of, let me say, kind of a coincidence because I was joining one conference, and one of the in this conference, in my session, the moderator was my father's ex working colleague. And after our deep conversation and after the conference, she told me that if I'm not wrong, you are doing something like a startup. And if you want to know someone, which I believe it can be very beneficial for you and for your startup, I can let you meet. So I had the idea, let's say, I
Hmm.
was like a big at the beginning of everything, and our paths crossed with my co-founder after that conversation with that woman, after the introduction, thanks to her initiative, let's say. We just had a very brief 20 minutes conversation, and next day we just started to work together. So it was like, and previously before that, I was like constantly looking for a CTO, especially CTO over like 4 years or 5 years. I was constantly speaking with the tech guys, the guys with a great hard skills. But it's you need to have a chemistry, and you need to on the same page. So it's really hard. And at the end of the day, we just met with this coincidence because of this conference and because of this women's initiative. And after this 20 minutes talk, yeah, we found and we believe that we were in the same page and we can do this together, and we gave a head start starting from the next morning. Yeah,
Wow. Do you think your communication changed from the beginning when you were just getting to know each other and where you are now?
of course it evolves and it improves and develops a lot, because sometimes you talk more than your parents or maybe more than your friends with your co-founder. You need to have a very transparent and open communication with him or her in order to achieve what you want to achieve. And what I believe is, I think we are sometimes we are talking 5 or 10 times in a day. Sometimes we are not talking for a day because of our schedule. But I think our communication involves and getting more transparent every day, and it will definitely bring more joy and more potential success for us. And I think we achieve great things by putting the open communication and transparency and trust in the first line. So that's why I feel also very lucky to have this kind of transparent conversation. I mean, sometimes maybe we can talk a lot. We discuss very different stuff, different things. I hope that my co-founder also have the same perspective and have the same feelings with me, because I feel really lucky to have him. I just want to say hi to Nejat from here. So yeah, it's getting better and better every day.
Amazing. Wow. Do you feel like the journey that you had with this startup, did it surprise you? Were you thinking that it's gonna be this way that it was?
Actually, it's another great question. I think, let me give you the short answer first. I didn't imagine how it can be extremely difficult. I mean, sometimes when I look back, I can't believe what we achieve, what we accomplish. And sometimes when I have a conversation with myself, I always ask myself some questions like that. How did we achieve this? I mean, it was so hard. And wow, we did a great job. Yeah, we need to celebrate this. And I think most of the founders also missing this point. We are always in the to do list side, and we are not celebrating our small milestones and small achievements. Sometimes this is also one of my biggest mistakes. I'm trying to do my best to improve these things. That's why I said to you, it's I didn't imagine how it can be extremely difficult. So in order to overcome these difficulties and these things, we need to celebrate. We need to stop. We need to breathe. We need to give us a chance to celebrate these milestones with our co-founders, our team, and our loved ones. But when we turn back to your questions, I mean, it also very surprising that how incredibly challenging it can be, as I mentioned to you, and I didn't sometimes fully grasp the intensity and the difficulties of being a co-founder, especially in the early stages. So when you're passionately pursuing something you love, something that you're working tirelessly all day long, all day night, I think it's something like it's a remarkable thing and interesting how you find the inner strength rather than exhaustion. Because sometimes when you're looking back, we need to celebrate our successes, our milestones, and imagine when you wake up each morning and when you have something that you drive you with the great purpose and with the great enthusiasm, you definitely find inner strength and inner motivation to achieve your goals. And despite the potential, let's say, burnout, especially in the early stages, also I found entrepreneurship is a very dynamic process, and it definitely become more appealing to me. And it's kind of a love. Sometimes it can be a love hate relationship, but it definitely feed my soul, and at the same time definitely give me a great chance to experience very interesting things every day.
Amazing. Is there an example of a challenge that at the time you felt like, whoa, like this is a big challenge, and right now you're past it and you can say, wow, like I'm so proud that I got through that?
Yeah. uh, you know uh, I'm from Turkey, by the way. I said this because right now I'm in Lisbon with a startup visa. So basically, when I was in and I moved here like 3.5 months ago. Basically, before moving here, I was applying for the visa in the consulate in Turkey. And when I look back, like 4 months ago, I was constantly looking for a visa application and other stuff, these bureaucratic things in order to get your visa. After all these things, these were a very difficult times for me. And during this 3.5 months period, sometimes I felt like, yeah, we achieved very good stuff, but it was so difficult. I mean, moving abroad to growing your startup, and in order to taking the next steps to accomplish your dreams, it was very difficult, to be honest, and mentally, both mentally and physically. So sometimes we need to deal with very different things in order to do our work. We need to do other works as a founders, because we don't have so much resources. We have limited resources. We don't have that much big team. We don't have lots of buckets in our bank accounts. So you need to find a solution. At the same time, you need to sometimes go over from some bureaucratic processes as well. Especially these are the hard times that I faced, and sometimes I felt like, oh, I burn out, I'm done. But as I mentioned in the previous question, at the end of the day, I found the inner strength and motivation to achieve what I want to achieve, because what we are doing, because I believe that first we need to believe ourselves, and after that, if you believe yourself, other people will start to believe yourself as well. So we need to be always strong, but sometimes it's not possible because of these difficulties and hard times. And but we are not alone in that journey. Our co-founders, even if you are a solo founder, your friends, your family will definitely encourage you to do more, and you can go over through these difficult times by talking to them, by sharing your experiences, by sharing your struggles, and uh, even with your milestones and small wins as well. So it's a very dynamic process, and hard times will pass, good times will come. Difficulties will definitely bring more experiences and new learnings to you. You need to have this mindset in order to overcome these difficult times. And during this month period, I've been through these things so many times, and I learn a lot. And I'm still learning. I'm constantly learning. Uh, but I hope that, like, after 3 or 5 years later, when I go and look back to these days, yes, I will definitely say these are maybe the hardest times that we faced, but we learn a lot. And thanks to these hard times, we achieve so many great things. And that's why we are here right now. I hope I will listen to this interview like 3 or 5 years later. And I hope I will share these thoughts and opinions with myself.
It's amazing. Wow. I love how you look at it at the greater scheme. Like understanding that it's gonna be hard and you're in for that. Like you chose this path. When did you, from the moment you said, okay, I'm doing this, I'm in, to actually being full time, like this is your thing, and in what point of that journey did you feel like you can call yourself a founder?
For me, everything was super planned since the beginning. So because previously, before Tripnly, I was working in a aviation industry for 3.5 year. I learned a lot during this experience because of it's also part of the travel and tourism industry. So it was not that easy for me to decide to quit my job, because I was in a very good position. I was surrounded with a great people. I had lots of different opportunities to connect with different business partners, people, and I had the opportunity to create very great projects for my company. But after identifying these gaps in the travel and tourism industry and find enough courage to take the next steps, I decided to quit. And I think that was the time that I can identify myself. Yeah, I will become a founder, and I decide this. There, no regret. There is no look back for me, and I will not live in the past. I'm not overthink about the future. I will just try to do my best to enjoy the present time. And I think um, with this mentality, uh, I start to think myself as a co-founder of Tripnly.
What is one early win you had? Like a moment where you were saying to yourself, wow, this might not be a big thing, but I know we're going in the right direction.
Great, another great question. I need to go flashback a little bit. Like like I mentioned to you, we have, of course, like all founders, co-founders, we all have some small wins, big failures, small failures. Uh, but when we look at our journey in Tripnly, I think one of our biggest achievement is like 1.5 year ago, we attend one fair and an exhibition in Istanbul, Turkey, for 3 days, and they were just, of course, with my co-founder Nejat, and in these 3 days, we had a chance to talk physically and personally over 500 people. So these 500 people, imagine, you can do the calculation if you want. Like imagine 3 days, two co-founders, you can divide to six. Yeah, it was kind of exhausted, but at the same time, we got great feedbacks. We learned a lot from our early adopters, customers, partners. We had a very great conversation with our potential investors. So we learn a lot. We touched the people, and at least we understand their pain points. Partners' perspective, we also learn what they are giving importance or priority in order to create some partnership or collaboration. For the investor side, I personally starting to understand the perspective and starting to think from their shoes. So it was a very enriched experience for us, our first physical exhibition and fair. And at that point, at that exhibition, starting to feel like, yeah, we are achieving something, because we are getting feedback, we are getting opinions. At the same time, we are getting some uh, praises. So this is what it is. I mean, this is our journey. This is what I can call, yeah, we are founders, we are co-founders, we are trying to achieve something, and yeah, we have the people. And to be honest, I really hate calling the real human beings, the real people, like users or investors. No, they are human beings, just like you and me. So we are all human beings. We have emotions. We have so many things that we consider when we take a decision. If it is a decision of investing something or downloading your app or not. It can be a very simple decision, or it can be a very complex and complex decision. So no matter what it is, we are all human beings, and we need to understand our needs and demands first in order to answer them, or in order to create a bond between these two of us. So that's why we always prioritize creating a real and honest relationship with our stakeholders. Uh, so that's why these kind of exhibitions are really important, especially for the early stage founders. At least this is what I think. And I think we did great in those 3 days. And I felt like, yeah, I'm a real co-founder.
Yeah, I'm a real one. That's so cool. Do you think that back then, did you already have the confidence to say, yes, I'm going to be doing this 2 years into the future?
Yeah, I mean, if you prepare enough and if you study for your work, I think everything can be achievable. I mean, we have all dreams and goals, but if you have a really good plan, if you have enough courage to follow this plan, no matter what happening to you, at the end of the day, I believe that you can achieve. At least if you don't achieve the level that you want to achieve, you will definitely achieve some point with a great experience and knowledge, and with lots of learnings, and it will definitely create more opportunity for you to achieve them for the next steps. So if you prepare enough, if you trust the process, and if you constantly do these things by creating them as a habit in your daily life, it's impossible. to not achieve your goals and dreams.
Do you ever hear people giving advice to entrepreneurs that you think is not so great?
To be honest, being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. Sometimes uh, we feel more secure and happy in a structured and less, let's say, not less dynamic, but less, more structured environments and processes. Entrepreneurship is a very long journey. It's like a marathon, and it's a very dynamic process with lots of ups and downs. And first, you need to be ready for these surprising challenges. I mean, uh, some instant problems. You need to be ready, and you need to be have a plan B, C, D until the Z, I guess. Yeah, you need to be super prepared, you need to be proactive, both reactive also. You sometimes you need to be reactive also. You need to be cold head, cool head also. I mean, because everybody in the room will first look at you, because you are the owner, you are the co-founder, you own the thing. So you need to be calm, and you need to find a solution to overcome the problem. So that's why sometimes it's really hard. You need to be super strong mentally, and you need to constantly invest yourself uh, to become to become much more prepared for what's coming to you. So that's why I think it's not for everyone, but at the same time, uh, you can improve your skills and abilities to become a best version of yourself and the best version of uh, your entrepreneurship journey. So that's why I think it's a non-stop learning process, and people definitely understand that it's a marathon. It's not a 100 meter run. It's not a sprint. So that's why they need to be prepared. They need to understand that it's going to be tough, with lots of ups and downs, with lots of hurdles. So they need to be prepared mentally, and after that, everything will come later.
Amazing. Do you have any crazy, weird stories of how you
Lots of.
got a meet? Yes, go ahead.
Right now, we are about to launch the initial version of the mobile application, the Tripin mobile application. So because of that, we are juggling between the codes and investor meetings as well too, because at the same time we are trying to close our pre-seed round. So we are really close to achieve these two, and at the same time we don't have so much time to meet with everyone. We decided to make our own investor day and invite all the potential investors and stakeholders in a one single Zoom session, and explain everything to them directly with a full of transparency. Normally, startups, we are attending some accelerator programs or incubation programs, and at the end of these programs and the learning schedule, there will be kind of an investor day or a demo day, and everybody is pitching. There are lots of different ideas, lots of different co-founders pitching their ideas. So we ask ourselves, okay, it's a great process, but why we shouldn't creating our own investor day and invite everyone to just listen us with a full of concentration, not in under 5 minutes or 3 minutes, with in a very cozy, very informal, and at the same time in a formal way. And I think they will definitely, by that, they will definitely concentrate on what we are doing. They will definitely understand what we are doing. But of course, we invite only the people, we had a very the people, we have a very good and strong relationship with them. So not an ordinary person, or not all, we are not sending invitation to the all VCs or angel investors. So the people that knows us for a very long time and following us for a very long time. So that's why we decided to make our own investor day. And to be honest, we will also do another two of them in the next week. So I hope it will work. We will also showcase our mobile application and try to find the missing part of our investment round. I'm not recommend to everyone. You need to first create a real relationship with lots of different investors, lots of different stakeholders. You need to talk with them first of all in person, and after that, if you think that we have a good level of relationship with that person or with that company, and it will definitely worth to invite them to our own unique investor day. After that, it will definitely make sense. Otherwise, it can be painful or harmful to get to know, or they don't want to join. So create a real relationship first. Let them follow you before asking something from you, because when you ask something to stranger to do a favor to you, they will definitely not do this. 99%. First, you need to create a relationship, and after that, after you creating a relationship with them, they will at least try to understand your situation and try to give a hand. This is what we are doing, and this is our philosophy. So uh, I believe that after this long journey, like as a co-founder of Tripnly and CEO of Tripnly, let's say our company established in May 2022, so it's almost like 2 years. We invest in people a lot because we believe that people, the human being, will definitely create the difference and definitely help us to create the difference that we want to achieve in Tripnly. So I think it pays off, and in our investor day, we invite almost like 60 people, and 50 people joined in the last one.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to do something similar?
Yeah, I mean, first you need to create a real relationship with them. You need to be full transparent. You need to regularly update these people and these companies, let's say, or VCs or the stakeholders with your latest developments. And you need to be honest also. So you shouldn't fake it until you make it. No, you need to be honest. These are all Wolf of Wall Street quotes. I mean, so you need to put people in the center of the business, and at the end of it will definitely worth it, and you will definitely get at least honest feedbacks, real opinions. You will definitely understand the real pain points of the people, and after that you will get a real, let's say, feedbacks and opinions, the real outcomes in order to go to the next stages. So people, you need to invest people first.
I think one of the most important things that I learned in the startup and throughout these just past few years is when people give you advice, when people give you their opinion, it makes them emotionally attached to your idea. Like if they tell you, I mean, as long as the relationship is nice, like they're enjoying talking to you, even if they think your idea isn't good or isn't going to work, you have a relationship and now they're slightly emotionally invested. So, like,
Exactly.
when you have a different idea or when you have a different situation or things change, they will be there when you want to talk to them again. But if you just like go basically ask for money, then who are you? Like, nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, so interesting.
Yeah.
How did you make the first connections? Like, how did you even get to saying hi?
Actually, there are lots of techniques available to do that, like the cold reach outs. I'm not going to give a marketing lesson here, but references are really important, to be honest. These warm introductions through your incubator or through the other investors are really important. I think the reference or a warm introduction from another co-founder to the, let's say, the stakeholder. It might be an investor, it might be a program manager, it can be another founder, in order to create a partnership with them. So we need to help each other. We are in the same boat, we are in the same industry, we know how hard to achieve something. We need to give hand to each other, because otherwise it's not possible to grow, it's not possible to achieve something. uh, of course, it's not possible for some of us to do this. I know, this is life. Sometimes people prefer to being alone or act individually, but I think um we need to support each other during our journeys, because it's impossible to know what's coming for us for the next steps. So that's why warm introductions are really important, especially from another co-founders to some stakeholders. Let's say I can put this in the number one, and the second one is you need to talk with your let's say users, with the human beings directly, if it is possible. You need to talk them in person, physically. I mean, because these emotional touches and these emotions under the conversations are really important. And as a co-founder or a founder, you need to understand the psychology of this person, in order to understand the real pain points or real needs. So physical interactions are really, really important, secondly.
What do you think is a trait that is really important to have as an entrepreneur? Like, what is something
Mm.
that you kind of have to have?
Yeah, I think not giving up. I mean, it's a marathon, it's a very long journey. You should definitely uh, be prepared for this. So, in order to be prepared for this journey, the first personal trait that you must have is you shouldn't give up, no matter what happened to you, what's happening to your company, what's happening to your startup. So, I know it's really hard, but at the same time, we need to give a priority in our own mental health, physical health. Otherwise, we will burn out and we will immediately give up. So it's really important. We need to put ourselves first of everything, because we are we are making lots of these decisions in a one single day. So in order to take the right decisions, or at least in order to take a healthy decision, we need to be first healthy, we both mentally and physically. It will definitely avoid us to being burnout, and at the end of the day, we are not going to give up. We will definitely keep going, no matter what happen, good, something good or something bad. At the end of the day, we will see that if it is a good decision, yeah, okay, it's a small win, let's celebrate this and let's continue. If it is a bad decision, okay, we learn something, it's a new experience, it's a new learning for us, let's keep continue. In both way, with that mentality and with that personal trait, by not giving up, you will be the winner, and you will win and keep continue.
Do you feel like there's a balancing between, on the one hand, you have your actual things that need to happen tech wise and product and like just building the company. And on the other hand, you have the whole network side of like meeting new people, both investors, but also just like other players in the field. And how do you manage doing both? Like, what
Mhm.
do you have any, what's the word? Like, are you more towards one side than the other?
It is also one of the hardest things of being a founder of startup, because at the same time you need to expand your network, you need and as at the same time you need to finish your product, you should launch, you should create new features for your users. So it's really hard. So, and at the same time you need to balance these two things in order to achieve your next steps. So that's why to be honest, it's a trade-off. Sometimes you give more priorities to your product, to the technical side. Sometimes you give more priorities and importance to your personal relationships with your stakeholders. But at the end of the day, the values can change time by time. But at the same time, in order to understand in which way you need to give more priority, you need to understand your priorities as well. I mean, what is important for us right now? If it is a launching the product, yeah, give more priority to your product, your technical side. I mean, talk with your team, your co-founder, your CTO, whatever it is, and try to do it right now if it is possible, or in the closest time. So if you have the product, if you need to if you need more users, or if you need to create more potential collaborations or partnership with your partners, with your stakeholders, yeah, give priority to talk with them, give priority to talk and understand their needs and demands. And after that, when you get the feedbacks from them, when you get their thoughts to them, come back, evaluate with your team internally, and after that identify the next steps. So step by step, and based on your needs and upcoming priorities, let's say, you need to balance them. So it's not a game like, oh, I will go in that direction 100%, I'm not going to give any importance to that side. No, it's not something like that. You need to have you need to find the sweet spot of the balance between these two. Otherwise, it's not possible to become successful or achieve your next steps.
Did you find yourself making new friends that are also founders throughout this journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, uh, I think this is the most rewarded part of being an entrepreneur, I guess, because we are not belong to one nation or religion. We have one religion, one nation. It's being an entrepreneur, I mean. So that's why we met with lots of different founders from all around the world, from different continents, thanks to the accelerator programs, incubation programs we achieve through the exhibitions and fairs, the award ceremonies, both online and offline events. We met with lots of different co-founders. We learned from them. We learned from their failures as well too. They also uh, contribute our achievements and the evaluation of the Tripnly a lot, because we are in the same boat. We are in the uh, same way. So that's why I think it's super rewarded, and learning from their stories and uh, learning from their experiences are definitely really helpful, because experience. For me, experience is the most important thing and the most valuable thing that you can have. You can find the money. You can find your co-founder. You can expand your team, but the experience, especially learning from the ones that you already passed these stages, are super important and super valuable, and it will definitely help you to make less mistakes. So experience of the other ones are really important. And by meeting with new people, meeting with the other co-founders and the founders all around the world, definitely help you.
It's really hard to understand in the beginning when you just start, how am I going to make more friends that are also in this? But then once you're in it, you go to this program and you go to this meetup and you find yourself kind of suddenly you're surrounded by entrepreneurs and it's really cool. Final question. What would you tell yourself of the beginning of the journey if you could?
I think I will definitely say to myself, you are doing great. You will experience so many different things, both good things and bad things. No matter what happened to you, you shouldn't give up, because you sacrifice so many things um, to achieve this level, and it will definitely uh, super rewarded, and it's going to be a super rewarded journey for you, because you totally deserve this, and you are the only one uh, in the journey to achieve this, achieve your goals. So that's why first I can say to myself, congrats what you have done so far, and keep going no matter what happened to you. I will definitely say this to myself.
Amazing. So I said it was the last question, but actually I just thought of one more that I think we have to, because you said you're going to listen to this in 5 years. What do you want to say to yourself of 5 years from now, listening to this podcast?
Oh, I mean, it's yeah. I said this, and I'm sure that it's going to make a problem for us, because I'm sure that some people might listen this. I'm sure they will listen to this or watch this, especially maybe some investors during the due diligence processes. So yeah, I need to say something very political, something achievable, and at the same time, I shouldn't make it up. So, yeah, I mean.
I believe in you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And you know what? Let me give you another thing before answering this question. The first people that believe to you in this journey is really important. Beside your parents, let's say, it's really important. And don't forget this person. This person will definitely give you an inner stretch and motivation uh, to where you are right now. The first person that believe to you is really important. So I hope after within the five year, I hope the people that believe to us will become much more than we expected. I hope people will trust us. People will uh, understand and support us during our journey, because that's why we are doing this, in order to uh, help them, in order to, let's say, empower them during their travel journeys, during their trip planning. But beside this, I hope we can create our own community with lots of brilliant people, with lots of great people to witness our journey, support us during our journey. And no matter what happened to us within the next 5 years, if when we turn back and if we see these people surround us, I will definitely say that yeah, we achieve it. We achieve something. At least we achieve to create a great community with a real relationships, with a honest way. So I think it's really important. If we can achieve this, I'm sure that we can achieve all the financial things and other metrics and everything as well too.
Amazing. Wow, Alper, it's been so fun talking to you, and I feel like you've had such a unique journey on the one hand, and on the other hand, it's such a founder's journey, like everything you talk about, which is so cool. And thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was my pleasure. I mean, sometimes it's really hard for founders to share their stories. And we need to share our stories. At least we need to create platforms. And thanks to your platform and thanks to your initiative, I believe that it's super valuable because we need to share what we are doing. We need to share what we have been through, because most of the time you are alone. No matter if you have a team or if you have co-founders, you are alone in that one. And we need to share our emotions and share all our things with the other people in order to find the inner power to keep going what we are doing. So that's why sharing is caring, and sharing our emotions and our next steps, ups and downs, small wins, failures are really important, and it's a part of the journey. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity to share these things with you and with your audience. Thank you so much.